Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
Yes. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Check it out. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us. No Paulie Sibilia today, at least not at the start of the show. Stephen Fonte, Mario Sacco with you until 2 o'clock. Paulie says that he may check in at some point. He's handling some business today, but does want to come on the show at some point. But Steve and Mario keeping you company up until 2 o'clock. 315-437-7644 is the number if you'd like to get involved. We do have one guest lined up for it today. Regy Thorpe, the new head coach of the SU women's lacrosse program, will join us at 12:15. We'll have Tim Leonard join us here in studio. He's actually in studio. You don't see him on the shot right now on QSportsTalk.com, but he is to my right running the board. He'll be in with us in the second hour with today's business and to talk some women's basketball, some men's lacrosse. The women with a big win last night, bouncing back against Georgia Tech by 24. Convincing statement-type win out of the ladies. And, of course, the SU men's lacrosse team will open things up on Sunday, 1 o'clock against Boston University. So Tim will fill us in on all of that. But we will begin as we've been beginning the last several shows, Mario, and that is with men's basketball. First and foremost, how you doing? How's your head? You said
I'm doing all right.
You banged your head on the way here.
Yeah, sprinting to the car to start it. The garage door was not open fully, and I ran into it at about 15 miles an hour and laid on the garage floor for a little bit. But
I'm sorry about that.
I might be diagnosed with a concussion later, but I'll be good to go.
Well, if you say something that the listeners or viewers don't agree with, we'll just chalk it up to that. Yeah. We'll just say, well, he hit his head on the way to work today.
41 years old, and I still can't leave a garage door.
This Notre Dame game tomorrow, I say it's important. Is it important from an NCAA tournament perspective, resume perspective? No, it's not. Like, that isn't even in the discussion right now. Is it important for this team to get a win and to put an end to this losing? It's vital for this team to put an end to this 4-game losing streak, because again, if they don't win this one tomorrow, the losing streak could go on for quite some time. So I say important. It's not important, in terms of, well, they're going to make the tournament or not, or is their net ranking going to go up? Again, that isn't even what we're talking about right now. It's about getting a win and having these guys feel good about what they're doing and trying to get back on track going into that brutal month of February.
I mean, you guys asked Coach Autry yesterday about the morale of the team, and of course he's going to say, the morale's good. But let's be honest, like, you suffer four straight losses, you start to question things, you start to wonder, what's going on, why are we doing this? And you need to snap out of that funk and at least get back in the win column. I don't care if it's a 2-point win or a 10-point win. You just need to get a win for those guys in the locker room to come together a little bit. Because not that they're, fractured segments of the locker room, but you hear the guys talk after, and you heard, William Kyle say, we're not connected as far as what we're doing defensively with things. Like, get a win and hopefully, a couple of things will roll down the line.
And you say it's not a fractured locker room, and it sounds like the guys are still together. Like, when we talk to them after games, they're saying all the right things. And we asked Coach yesterday, Adrian Autry, when he was on our show, about, how are the guys handling it? And he said everybody's still together. But with that being said, and I'm not saying they're not together, but I think you've seen at the end of the Miami game and the end of the NC State game in particular that
kind of roll over and play dead.
A little bit. I mean, when, and it's one of those things that, they may feel like they're trying, but when the other team has it going and their spirit seems broken to some degree in these games, and they seem defeated. That's the word I used yesterday when we were talking about it on the Orange Nation TV show. They seem defeated. And so I'm not saying that they're, it's a splintered locker room or they're not together or whatever the case may be, but they need a win, I think, for their confidence, to feel good about themselves, to, if they have any chance of, surprising some people in the month of February and pulling off an upset here or there, they need this one, I think, to kind of set the table for that.
When he talks about everything is on the table, and you asked him the question yesterday, and he discussed it, but he kind of really didn't discuss it. Like, what physical changes could you see them making ahead of this Notre Dame game?
It's a great question, and I listened back to the soundbite before I came over here this morning, at Channel 9, and
what changes would you make? I'm going to put you in Coach Autry's shoes. What changes?
It's something we've talked about on this show, and I know some agree with this, some don't agree with this. Less Nathan George at the point, I think, is probably where I would start right now. He's had some good games, but he's been so wildly inconsistent, and he hurts you with his turnovers. And I'm not saying, bench him altogether. And, I think maybe a little bit less of him is one adjustment I would make. Now, the flip side of that is who comes in, and Kiyan comes in. If JJ's running the point, Kiyan's the 2. And Kiyan has shown the ability to get to the basket, but he's also not shown the ability to make free throws on a consistent basis. So he's been getting fouled a lot. He's just not making free throws, and he's not the best defender in the world, as we all know. And I'm being kind there. Yes. So there is a trade-off, right? So I think that's probably where I would start. The other thing is, from like a schematic and strategic standpoint, they have gotten some missed shots out of the zone, but they can't rebound. So that's a double-edged sword too, where defensively right now, I don't know where the intensity has gone, and that was something we saw in Vegas where
I just don't know where keeping the guy in front of you, like how many straight line drives these last couple of games, like Donaldson, the number 7 for Miami. I'm sorry, his name is not coming to me right now. Time and time again in the second half, Quadir, it goes top to bottom and just starts with keeping your guy. It doesn't matter what defense you're playing, you got to keep a guy in front of you.
Well, yeah, and they haven't done that, and that's why I said I don't know where that's gone, because in Vegas and against Tennessee and up until really after the Clemson game, like after the Clemson game, we saw things go downhill and in a hurry, right? The 4-game losing streak, they won some games, they got to 3-1, but this 4-game losing streak, they're giving up, more than 80 points a game, which just simply cannot happen. And so, I don't mind sprinkling in the zone, but again, the problem with that is, okay, if you're going to do it, you got to rebound out of it. In the last 2 games in particular, they've gotten just crushed on the glass. So it's hard, Mario. Like you say, what changes would you make? I think you got to make some, I don't know. I mean, we know the previous head coach, Jim Boeheim, was here a really long time, and we talked, at length when he was the coach about, he's got such a short leash and a short bench, and, if a guy made a mistake, he would come and sit down. And I think it's gotten to the point with some of these guys, when they make a mistake, you got to sit them down and, try somebody else. We saw Bryce Zephyr get a little bit of time, and again, I'm not saying Bryce Zephyr is the answer, but we saw him come in when, out of necessity, JJ and Nathan George were both in foul trouble. He played 11 minutes or whatever he did in that first half, and he did some good things. Like, he was, not great offense. Like, he's not really an offensive threat, but defensively, he got after you. And so I don't know. Perfect. Like, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. No, you got to change something up, and I think that might be a possibility.
I want the lineup out there that's going to play the hardest defensively. Like, okay, maybe the shots might not be falling on the offensive side, but we need to get back to limiting teams under 70 points because right now, whatever's working on that side of the ball is not working. And you would think by adding Donnie Freeman back, you would be a better defensive team. Your guards got to learn how to rebound the basketball, first and foremost. You can't have JJ having 0 rebounds like he did last game. We made fun of Chris Bell for all these years of how he didn't rebound the basketball. Well, your guards got to come back and start rebounding, and that's going to help out a little bit, and you're not going to get killed by plus 12 on the glass. It wasn't like NC State was a huge team. Coach Autry said they were playing, better teams. Let's be honest. You played Boston College, Virginia Tech, Miami. Like you weren't playing the best teams in the ACC, and these teams still scored over 80 points on you.
Yeah, Sadiq White. You
That's
mentioned
another one.
It was
Sorry.
somebody with no rebounds. Sadiq White, no rebounds. I know he only played 10 minutes. Fouled out in those 10 minutes. And Red said, well, I left him on the floor because with 4 fouls, he was the only one really, giving me the effort defensively that I wanted. I'm paraphrasing there, but he's got to learn how to stay on the court, and that's going to come with time, right? As he gets better and more mature, and right now he's, I think he's struggling a little bit with the physicality of the game at this level, and he's a freshman, and I get all that, but he's got to be able to stay on the court, and he's, because he's done some good things when he's out there, but 5 fouls in 10 minutes and no rebounds, that's obviously not helping anybody.
No, and his game is more around the hoop, and I feel like he doesn't think that's his game right now. It's the step back out and shoot the threes. Like, need to get him inside and working that, and going from there. But there's not just one answer, to say the least, of what needs to change for the Syracuse basketball team.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any easy answers at this point, and I think it starts with effort, and that's not really something that's tangible, right? So. Because I do think that, and we heard the players talk about it the other day, that it's
But when you see it and someone's not doing it, get them out. Like I know it might not be that easy, but like, okay, next guy. What do you got?
The problem is, I think, is that it's a collective thing right now.
Yep.
The way that they were playing defense early in the season, it was a collective thing. They were helping each other out, and everybody was getting after it. And right now, that just hasn't happened. It's not happening, and so. It's not like, well, if we run this set, we'll be fine, or if this guy plays more, or, this particular matchup. It just seems to be across the board. It is a collective effort.
Head-scratching is
sense of urgency that is lacking.
It's not the one thing, because Miami, you forced 16 turnovers, and they still scored in the 80s. So, And it starts off, we talk about collective effort on the defensive side, like, offense leading to defense, like bad possessions on offense are leading to easy baskets for other teams. So
there are plenty of issues right now, no doubt about it. All right, we got to take our first time out. We're going to take a break from talking SU basketball. We'll bring on Regy Thorpe, head coach of the SU women's lacrosse program. He joins us next on ESPN Radio.
It wasn't even one segment in, and I hit my hand off to that. I hit the table. I almost didn't make it. I almost knocked myself out trying to get here.
Good.
On the garage door.
You trying to do Indiana Jones?
I ran square into it. Just laid in the garage.
How's everybody doing?
You're here.
Yeah, everything's out.
So are you going to join us? No.
I gotta go. I feel much
They
better.
said they could hear us taking calls, but like the board is. I don't know. Well, people texted me and they were like, it must have been Paul talking.
Yeah, his
to Regy.
mic must be on the Q Sports Talk feed.
Right.
Projects, big or small. Browse full displays and meet the home improvement companies face to face. There's hourly giveaways, including Cisco gas cards, Hit Zone, wine and food tastings, and your chance to win a $25,000 home improvement giveaway.
What happened on X last night? Bunch of idiots, that's what happened. If you agree with them, don't even talk to me. I do have clearer sinuses than yesterday.
See, you actually sound stuffy today. I mean, you did yesterday, too. You feel better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
Good. Why are you not doing the show?
I had to go meet the Salvation Army people.
But you're done.
I'm now paying him to do it.
So-
I can't pay him $5 now. I can't pay him like a...
I get paid for this?
Well, we could do the three of us if you want.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, well then that's the real answer. That's the real answer. You don't want to.
Yeah. Come on, the fans want you.
I don't want them. I'm so angry at Syracuse fans right now. I can't even tolerate it.
Are you gonna run the board?
No. No, I'm not. I'm going to go do Sonny's music.
All right.
If I said that, you would say, "Oh, that job's more important than this job."
Right. Good point.
No. No. Al, you're one of them. Your take yesterday was so brutal, being mad at me for promoting Moten. Al, your take yesterday about us promoting the Moten thing was so bad. You should be blocked. You're a dope. I'm the only person in the Syracuse media that's allowed to call you guys idiots, and it's with great power comes great responsibility, and I have no tolerance for you guys. Someone called the Autry show yesterday and asked him who he thought should replace him, and they're just classless dopes from that. What do they call it? Parody accounts. And the other thing that is starting to get to me, too, that was pointed out to me, everybody's like telling us that we won't say Red's a bad coach. When have you heard us sit here and compare him to Coach K or Coach Wooden or call him a good coach?
Or Boeheim, for that matter. Who's doing the men's game on Sunday?
Oh, lacrosse?
Yeah.
Are you doing a remote broadcast anytime soon?
I was going to do it next Wednesday. For my show, you mean?
Yeah. Because I was going to see if we could steal that equipment, because the Newhouse kids are going to be at the Super Bowl. I got to figure out a way to get them on the air at the Super Bowl. See, it's not just this stupid show that I worry about.
Me too. Right there with you.
My tolerance level for you and him and everybody today.
What have I done?
You were born. And it's this big.
Fair enough.
Paul liked it. See you, Paulie.
So he's on VMix? Okay.
ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com.
This is Orange Nation.
All right, Stephen Fonte, Mario Sacco back with you here on a Friday edition of Orange Nation. As promised, we're going to take a break from the basketball talk to bring on Regy Thorpe, the new head coach of the SU women's lacrosse program. Regy, it's great to have you on. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for having me.
And I guess let's just start with, first and foremost, your emotions, getting ready to kick this off, right? Back at your alma mater, head coach of the women's program now. You're the guy in charge. What does this mean to you? What does this place mean to you? And how excited are you to get this thing going?
I just super pumped to be back at Syracuse and having a great staff and team to work with, and the players and the family, and to be back in the community and opening up a week from today against Maryland. So we're pumped on our end, excited to get going.
Regy, the physical makeup of your team this year, what are we going to see out of a Syracuse women's lacrosse team that we might not have seen over the last couple of years under Kayla Trainer?
I think it's, Syracuse lacrosse. We want to get up. We want to run, running, 2 to 3 lines of middies and getting after teams defensively. Offensively, sharing the ball and play fast when we can.
You talk about Syracuse lacrosse. The schedule is certainly Syracuse lacrosse, right? First 3 games, all against top 7 opponents in the country. And we've gotten used to this since Gary Gait was the head coach of the women's program, that, year in and year out, Syracuse tends to play the toughest teams in the country. It seems like you've got that same philosophy. Can you speak to, I guess, your philosophy in terms of scheduling and playing as difficult a regular season as possible?
Yeah, we certainly, it's a great challenge for us. The ACC sets the schedule, so those first, we open up with Maryland out of conference, then we go ACC, UNC, and then Stanford. So it's a little out of our hands, but it's the way it felt. But our kids are excited about the challenge and excited for the opportunity.
Steve talked about Gary a little bit there. What's it been like being back around him and bouncing ideas, so to say, between you guys?
It's been fun. It was a great 10 years working with Gary and our women's program, and it's been awesome to see what he's done with the men's program last few years, and I'm excited to watch them, hopefully take the next step in their program. But it's been great just, collaborating and helping each other out, and it's been fun and some good laughs, and, certainly a great person to bounce ideas off of.
Can you talk about your journey a little bit from, playing at Jordan Elbridge and, working your way through Herkimer into Syracuse as a player, and now, coming back again after, working with Gary and now being the head coach here? Just kind of start to finish. This game's opened up a lot of doors for you, and what a journey it's been.
Yeah, I mean, from Jordan Elbridge High School, like you said, but the community's great. Had an opportunity, to go to Syracuse, need a little extra work in the classroom, so went to Herkimer. Was very fortunate to play for Hall of Fame coach Paul Wareham, who molded me as a player, as a student, on and off the field, and then helped me get to live my dream to play 21 minutes from my house in the Dome. So, but then to come back, coaching here has been unbelievable. Family super excited, the community super excited, and we hope to put a good product on the field.
How did that time away from being here kind of shape who you are?
Yeah, I think just, develop it. I think as myself as a coach, 10 years here with Gary, the last 4 years with Coach Mandy O'Leary at the University of Florida, 2 different coaches, but 2 highly successful. They're both one on the Hall of Fame, on the women's coaching side. So the work for 2 Hall of Fame coaches was great, and just to mentor different perspectives and different things you pick up. And then it's been great to put my own, twists and ideas on things, but fortunate to have those 2 good mentors, especially the last 4 years, and then coming back to Syracuse.
The preseason polls were released recently. Your team checks in at number 11. Do you like that it's not a top 5 preseason ranking that you got, that maybe you and your players can head into the season with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder?
I think we don't know what we're going to get with this team. It's a great group. They've been doing well, really adjusting to our principles and our systems with Coach Kaylin, Coach Maggie, and Coach Nicole. And you never know. Each year is different to different. Sometimes you return a ton of players and you don't have the season you want. Sometimes you got some new faces, and so it's been good. We got some kids with some good experience, and then some kids ready to take the next step. So we're just excited. Preseason's preseason. I mean, they're forecasting on how you're going to do this year, but certainly we'll have a little chip on our shoulder. But we got something to prove, and we got to earn everything.
How much are you going to rely on the Emma Munchnicks and the Caroline Trinkuses and so on to kind of help you through this first month of the season with the new team?
Yeah, I think Emma and Trink are 2, very high-level players, but I also think we got a lot of kids who got some good experience last year, and I think are ready to take the next step. And I do think from game to game, you might see 2 or 3 different players stepping up each game, along with Emma and Caroline. So I think it's certainly going to be by committee on the offensive end, and real excited about that. And the kids have been sharing the ball in preseason, and hopefully we can put it together next Friday.
One player that the program lost is Emma Ward. She's out of eligibility from what I understand, still on campus, still around, still finishing up her degree, still around the team. I mean, what's it been like? I guess having her around and kind of bridging the gap maybe with some of the returning players, and you coming back here as a first year head coach. How important has she been as this season's about to get started?
It's been awesome. I actually recruited Emma and never got a chance to coach her. Was gone by then, but it's been great. She's working in a manager role for us. Finishing up her master's degree. It's been great to have her around. She's been a great extra hand for us to assist in things, and she's been great with the players. She got a great coach's eye. But it's been great for her. She's helping us just some of the manager roles with the film and scout and assisting in some drills in there. So it's been great to have her around. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been great spending time with her.
We're running a little short here on time, Coach, but just do you have any sort of message for the fans? What can they expect in terms of style of play and in terms of coming out and supporting you and the team here as you get things started? Any sort of final message you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to put a great product on the field. I think it's a gritty bunch. I mean, they're not going to quit. This group is really hardworking, blue collar, really embraces that Syracuse toughness, and we're excited to showcase and get people in the stands and put a good product on the field for the fans.
All right. Well, we cannot wait for this season to get started. Regy, great to have you back on campus. Congrats again on the job, and good luck as you get things started. I'm sure we'll talk again real soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Regy.
Thank you. Regy Thorpe, the new head coach of the SU women's lacrosse program. And with that, we'll take a timeout. We'll open up the phone lines the rest of the way now. 315-437-7644 if you want to check in on lacrosse, women's basketball, men's basketball. It's all on the table today. Maybe we might even talk a little Bills. Joe Brady introduced yesterday to the Buffalo media. Not that he needs to be introduced.
Oscar the Grouch left, so I guess we can talk about that.
I just kind of said that tongue in cheek. I wouldn't mind talking Bills. We are back after this on ESPN Radio. Come in, Adrian Autry, and can you?
Do we have bump back music today? I wondered if we.
And we've been doing Pauly Spotify.
How is he doing that? Did he just go to Spotify on the?
Yeah, on here.
But
I'd have to log him out.
Probably ask her if she could do that. Did any schools get canceled today? Do you know?
I don't know. It would have been for how cold it was, but I don't think around here, but
in Pittsburgh it was negative 12 this morning. Like not with wind chill, there was actually negative 12 this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, senior timepiece. We can talk football if you want. I saw that post from Tusi. We actually played some of it yesterday. Good job by you to leave out because there was a lot in there that was we could not air, and you did a good job.
He was cutting it up, and he wanted to get creative and bleep some of the stuff, and I was like, all we want is the fact that he's not coming, and he said Fran lied about it.
Yeah,
and I was
there was a lot on the cutting room floor with that.
Oh, he did a good job. Right now? Yeah, sure.
Good. Why don't you just light a match and drop it and then leave? Good.
Then we'll talk to Lee Baldwin.
You can do whatever you want, but
no, because I was going to anyhow.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, Michael and Tony, I'm with you. I think the Brady.
Whenever we were not about that, sorry.
Or would you rather we talk about Bo Bichette?
I think the Brady hire was.
What happened?
No, yesterday when.
It doesn't move the needle. Let's put it that way. I wish McDermott were still the coach.
Called him Nemo.
Yeah, he did. I was like.
The one thing I'll say about what Brady brings that McDermott doesn't, it seems like the more that you hear the reaction from the players, it seems like the players felt like they had to be tight around McDermott and buttoned up and say the right thing at all times, and that Brady's a little bit, looser, lets the guys be who they are. There could be something to be said for that, but besides that, I don't see much else.
When do you think he broke his ankle?
He said the last month. So remember,
they said it was a I heard it was. They were celebrating.
I thought it was on that one run where he kind of got his.
Yes, I think that's what it was. Yeah,
jam back.
You should see me next to Matt Park.
Allen, week 16 when he.
I thought you were talking about Bo Nix.
Yeah, Nix was.
I heard that was so
idiotic. Why even run that play?
I don't even care about. I don't even care about Josh Allen. No one does. We're in Syracuse.
Bills isn't local.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk about the Lightning.
They are on a roll.
Yeah. Let's talk about Boeheim's Army.
The Rangers.
It's not Matt's job to cut him off. Is that funny to you, Dilemma Q's?
So Paulie's going to come in here and spout off for 10 minutes, and then he's going to leave again.
We can handle it. We have our big boy pants on.
Me and spurts. I'm a spurter.
Can you give us a... I got a red mark right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but
Get
you
to
gotta,
what?
Gotta bump.
Letting it get to what, LA Orange? We all know what the outcome is. It's not letting people be a-holes. Is that it? Everybody knew coming in. He didn't say basketball. Did you listen to the show? We talked about Coach Jack said they needed it. Fran Brown said that if FSU wanted to make their football program good, tomorrow they could, or their basketball program. Syracuse can't do that.
All right, Stephen Fonte, Mario Sacco, and apparently for a segment, Paulie Sibilia.
Yes.
Joining us in studio.
Yeah.
Just for one segment.
Yeah.
So embrace it.
And then I'm going to go clean.
You're going to go clean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The old place.
Oh, okay. You said you were doing work.
I just was. I got work to do. I'm not like ducking out of work. All right?
Okay.
I'm not in a mood today, Steve.
I can tell. So the floor is yours, Paulie.
Yeah, the fan base, a minor segment of it, got under my skin last night, Steve. We were doing, and I hate even bringing attention to it. It's just, it needs to be called out for classless, garbage. Last night during the Coach Autry show, somebody called in and tried to ask Coach who should replace him. And it's not funny, Coach Autry went to Syracuse. He's the coach. Everybody knew what needed to happen this year. It's not like there's some writing, I think there's zero chance he comes back if they don't make the tournament, right? I don't know if that's a fact, but everybody knew that coming into this year. And people are now saying, well, Syracuse let it get to this. Well, we all knew what was going to happen, just stop being classless losers. Everybody at the show, if you think you're in the majority doing stuff like that, the people at the show were mortified last night. There were still people coming up and asking Coach to take pictures. They're wishing him luck. You are hiding behind a Twitter account, and you're an idiot. I'm the only one that could say that because you guys are professionals, and with great power comes great responsibility. Just. You can survive another 3 months. It might get better. It might not. But you can survive another, it's not even 3 months, it's a month. Yeah. You can survive another month of basketball. God forbid that's your biggest problem, that you have to stay up at night thinking of ways to be an a-hole.
Listen, I'll back you up on that. I won't use the word tone that you are, but have a little class and decency. You hide behind these social media accounts and post this stuff. Does that make you feel better at the end of the day? Saying stuff like that?
The only way it's excusable if you're 13.
We understand that SU basketball program is going through tough times right now. Not a single person, Paulie, Steve, myself, Mike Waters, Donna DeTota, hasn't said that this season has been bad and shown facts about it. So the fact that the word's homers because we still have a job to do and we still try and look at the bigger picture of things, that doesn't make you a homer.
Yeah.
And that's what irritates me time and time again when I hear that. And as you said, it is a small portion of the Syracuse fan base, and there's a large portion of the Syracuse fan base that is not happy with the way things have gone over the last decade. I will say, I told Steve a stat the other day. SU hadn't lost, 3 straight games in a 10-year time span from 2010 to 2019. they only lost it 9 times. Well, over these last 5 years, they've lost 3 or more games 9 times. Like, that shows you the decline of where this program is. But to stand back there and bash someone that, just because it makes you feel better, it makes you feel better saying things like that. That's where I have the problem. Like, I want to come into your work and do the same thing to you, but you can't. And I get it. These coaches are getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's okay. Like, he doesn't have, like, do you think he came here just because of the money? Like, his goal was to bring Syracuse back to prominence, and he's not doing it. It's got to be killing him. And everybody was like, someone says it's one call, relax. Do you follow Twitter?
It is not. Anytime I open Twitter now, and I don't know how, I guess just block, like, things like this pop up the mentality is just...
Yeah. And people are saying it's like this in the SEC. Yeah, it's like this everywhere. It doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you have to agree with what is going on. Just be classless. I mean, don't be classless about it.
That is a different level of being a jerk.
Like,
there's so many words I want to use.
I had my run-in with Coach Autry this year, but I can still do my job and disagree with him. I've had my run-ins with Coach Boeheim before, but,
Q Sports Store says, are you being paid by the university? But no one here is being paid by, I kind of do get paid by the university, not technically, but it's not to do what or say anything. And nobody here has been screaming that this is good or okay. Nobody has.
I asked him about his offense in a post-game press conference, and I'm trying to ask reasonable questions, and I'm not being held back by SU athletics, so to say.
Why do you think it happened? It never happened with JB. It's because people are idiots. That's why. So, nobody tells me what to say. It's just, guys, we're in a tiny little town called Syracuse, New York. We have to walk a line in order to keep relationships. If we want Coach Autry on our show to talk to us, you got to, nobody's going to be a jerk. I'm sorry. If you think we should just come out and say he should be fired, it's not going to happen. Just like we're not going to praise him right now for what's going on. It's simple.
And if they win against Notre Dame, it's not going. You're not going to be praising them because they won one game. Like, it's the reality of what it is right now. But there's a way of talking about it, and then there's a way of hiding behind the keyboard with a picture of not your face.
There's been a lot of coaches fired in my lifetime since I've been doing this job, and not once did I call for them to be fired, but I also
didn't think they were doing a good job.
Yeah, and I never praised it. Like, Dino got fired. I had a lower bar for Dino than the university did. Greg Robinson got fired. Never once. We all knew it was coming. You didn't need to, be a jerk about it. It's coming. So, that's all I wanted to say. Just, let the year play out and you'll be okay. You'll be fine. It's not affecting your personal life, I hope.
All right, we got a phone call here. Rob in the Mohawk Valley up next on the show. Rob, what's going on?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, Rob.
Good. Yeah, I love this team, and I've always liked Red. And I think there's always going to be chatter from the fans, especially when you don't make, the tournament for X amount of years in a row. But there's also a level of accountability, and it's not just Red, it's the team, it's everyone involved. I'd hate to see him get fired, but the school's got to do what they got to do for the program to make this program advance and become better. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, and people are allowed to think he should be fired. There's just don't be.
And people can even say what they want about what they think about John Wildhack. Like that's not going to offend me. But
if that caller had called in and asked Red, do you think you're worthy of keeping your job? With where you are, that's a completely different way of handling it too. You can be a man and ask a question.
Yeah, and I do think that. I'm not a booer, right? I mean, we talk about that, and you Joe, you're a boo. I don't love when people boo, but I understand, that you're entitled to do that at a game. You're entitled to boo the product. Last night was just being mean, and so again, I don't want to sit up here and berate fans or whatever. But the example you brought up last night, it was just mean. Like, what was the point of that other than to get a chuckle from his friends or whatever? And it's unfortunate. So that's all I'll say on that.
One other thing, someone says Wildhat could have handled this humanely and canned Red last year. It would have not been fair to Red to fire him after last year, guys. And I blame the university for that. They did not raise the money necessary to put a quality product on the court last year. It's plain and simple. If you think that team could have won more games with another coach, you're wild. Especially with the injuries that happened.
We've got Nick in Las Vegas up next. Nick, what's going on?
Hi, fellas. How's it going today?
We're doing all right. How about you?
Doing well. Thanks. So I was feeling the same way Paulie was last night on Twitter, and I agree fully with what you're saying, Paulie. I think there's a line that when you cross that line, it gets to be disrespectful, classless, all of the above. You know what I mean? And one other thing that I noticed last night, another one of those parody accounts shared a business post, or I guess you would say promoted a business who's giving away free happy hour drinks and post-game cocktails for anyone that wears a brown bag over their head tomorrow at the game. If that is true, and I'm going to use the word if because I don't want to necessarily blame a business without factually knowing it. If that is true, that is lower than low, right? Because the businesses of the community have to support the program because they, in turn, make money off the program when people going out to eat, going out to drink. Without that, their business suffers, right? And what they're doing is totally wrong on a business level, on a moral level, on a personal level. I just think it needs to stop, right? Tomorrow they're honoring Lawrence Moulton. If you want people going to the game with brown bags on their heads, and Fran's got recruiting players coming in for junior day, you want them to see our fans acting like that? What are you going to attract? What are you going to bring? Where's the positivity to show what Orange Nation's about?
Yeah, appreciate you checking in, Nick. And Tim's chiming in to us saying that there was that was a fake account that posted the thing about the bags over the head. So that, I mean, obviously they're
all fake accounts, but they're trying to do it. They're trying to garner the support for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild what people are doing now because the basketball team is bad. To have someone in our chat yesterday mad that we promoted the Moulton remembrance and trying to get tickets sold to a bad product it's bonkers to me.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Paulie. Up until like 5 days ago, I forgot that this was the game. So I think it was more of a reminder to people that, hey, they're honoring Lawrence Moulton.
I don't care if the team hadn't won a game yet this year.
Yeah.
Lawrence Moulton is the leading scorer at Syracuse all time, one of the greatest dudes you're ever going to meet.
Yeah, more importantly, the person that he was and represented Syracuse.
Yeah, it's just, come on. You're letting an average basketball team get you this upset.
Let's keep the phone calls coming. Scott in Liverpool up next.
Oh, I went to Jay. Sorry,
okay.
Jay.
So we'll go to Jay in Utica. Jay, what's up?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah.
I just had a quick question. Just to throw it out there, is Syracuse University a legit Power 4 school? Do they need to take a step back, maybe be an A10 or a MAC school?
No.
And get the same benefits.
There's not any benefit to doing that.
Well, you don't get the same benefits if you're not in
Well, you get a chance to make the tournament.
It's not about...
come on, guys. Syracuse football was just won 10 games last year. The basketball team is going to be fine. All right? I have faith in everybody to figure it out. All right?
Just for instance, do you know what those A10 and MAC schools, they're barely surviving?
Yeah.
Financially. They're cutting programs.
Yeah, that is not the answer.
No, let's go to Scott.
Of all the answers, that is not the answer.
I wish I could go to an A10 school.
Scott in Liverpool.
Send
Scott,
you to St. Bonaventure.
Oh, please.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
All right.
Good. So I just want to chime in. Some of the people that are calling in are those fans that are sitting in the stands that are half the time they're not even paying attention to the game. They're on their phones, but yet they want to call in because they got all the answers about the game that they don't even watch.
Or not even going to the game, Scott. You know what I mean? Like, they're not spending the money to help out the product.
Yeah. But then when they do, they want to complain about it, and they want to, like, point the fingers at the coach. And, you know, it's not Autry's fault. He can't make the free throws. He can't get the rebounds. He's already done all that.
I'm not absolving him of anything. Like, it's his fault his teams aren't winning. It's just...
It's collective. Yeah. It's everybody. Yeah.
But I think a lot of it, though, was effort. You know what I mean? And some of the shots, sometimes you guys watch, they settle for threes, and you don't need a three. Sometimes go to the free throw. Well, go to the free throw line. I don't know if that's the idea.
But to an extent, a little bit of that is coaching as well. You understand? We're getting at, like, your team's got to be coached up better in certain situations, and we've seen it in late game situations. We've seen it, at the end of halves. So keep going, Scott. I apologize for cutting you off.
No, it's okay. Because it is frustrating because we haven't been a program that's always been, top 15, top 20, top 25, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. Sometimes I see the talent is there. It's just sometimes the effort, the execution. But like you guys have said, it does fall back on the coaching. But I guess overall, when these fans are calling in, they're so quick to just judge when there's more to it than that. And I don't know. Yeah. I just wanted to call in because I feel for the team and feel for the coaches. But hopefully, like you guys said, we can turn it around. There is still time left. It's not over yet.
Yeah, there is. It'd take a minor miracle. It's just, I get mad. Like, he's got a point. Like people think I'm like some homer because I say Syracuse runs an offense. It doesn't look pretty. It's not. They didn't get execution. It should be being executed by this point in the season better. But they run plays. Like, that's not glazing anybody by saying they run plays. No, they do. I just
disagree with the style.
Yeah, you may not like the style. So it's been a bad product, yes, and it just don't think they don't game plan. Someone came up to me last night and said they need to change the game plan. I go, do you think the game plan is to turn the ball over and to fall behind by 9 points immediately?
Be down 10-2 to start the game.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it's just, that's not glazing. Like, nobody's out here claiming Red is John Wooden. It's just, it is what it is. At the end of the season, they'll make a change, and hopefully they make the right change. Or Red will turn it around. God forbid that happen, and you guys have to sit through that.
Paulie, I asked Steve, he talked about, anything's on the table. What's one thing you would like to see change?
I don't know. Like, there is an argument to move JJ to point, but like, I don't know that he creates shots for other people. It just spaces the floor more for more of this offense. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know if there is an answer at this point.
Yeah. That's kind of the conclusion we came to.
That was basically what we came to.
And I certainly don't think there's one easy answer. I think it's, you look at the issues with this team right now, and they are many, right? Rebounding's an issue. Turnovers are an issue. The backcourt, the inconsistency in the backcourt is an issue. The execution down the stretch of games, especially in the second half of games, is
the line changes are brutal.
Right,
to me.
Substitution patterns. I mean, there's a lot right now that I don't know if there's one thing that you can put your finger on and say, well, if they do that differently, everything's going to be okay. Obviously, if they knew that or thought that, they would do it. And they haven't even hit the tough part of their schedule yet. So it's tough.
One thing that is in the chat right now, Hellray says, all the gaslighting isn't changing the fact that he's like, did you not hear the AD on this show say they have to play meaningful games in March or there'll be a change? Did you not hear that? The change will come if they don't make the tournament, guys. I don't get why it's that hard. It's just not going to happen right now in the middle of the season.
Get one more phone call in this segment. Mike in Bridgeport. Is that what it says?
No.
Bradenton, Florida. Sorry.
Oh, it must be nice.
It must be nice down there. Right?
Getting ready for Pirates spring training baseball down there, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good right now. I just got off the golf course. It's going to be cold this weekend.
Must be rough.
Get down in the 30s.
Yeah,
30 Sunday.
My buddy said it was 58 there, so you might have had to wear a sweatshirt to golf today.
No, it was nice. It was nice by the end of it, though. So anyway, hey, this whole thing. with a head coach in a P4 program gets the job, and it's his first head coaching job ever. You hear it. You heard it with the Bills. You heard it with everybody. They're hiring people that have never been a head coach before into a really high pressure situation. Syracuse is an epic program. We always talked about how they were ranked and always in the tournament. And Boeheim, from what I heard, and this is just, I don't know if it's true, but Boeheim insisted that he would leave and they were going to hire Autry. And I think that put Autry in a horrible position. And I hope that when this all blows over, which it will, we got about 6 weeks left to figure it all out, and they get into a coaching search, they get somebody with experience. And I think it's huge. Somebody that's been winning and somebody that has experience. I think it's really, really important. You, as an assistant coach, never really do a press conference. You're not the face of the program. You don't have to deal with all the pressure from the community. The assistant coaches this year, how often do they get called out? Never. But, if you're not used to that and you haven't done that and you come to a program like Syracuse that's been struggling for a few years already, it's just such an uphill battle. And I don't know if Autry's a good coach or not, and I don't think we'll ever figure it out here. I think his next job will tell you how good he is, because I think this situation was unbearable. So that's my point.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you checking in. I mean, there's a reason they say it's tough to be the guy who follows the guy, right? And I don't know how much that played into it, but I mean, he makes some good points there. It is different when you move one seat over, and it is different when the good cop, bad cop, you become the bad cop. When you're used to being the assistant and you're used to being the good cop with the players. I mean, there is an adjustment obviously that goes into it. Now, it's the middle of year 3, and maybe year 1 we're talking about that, or year 2. It's year 3. It's still like this, and so that I think that needs to be said as well. But I understand Mike's point that it's a very difficult situation. Anytime you follow a legend,
and it's not even
a very difficult
following
spot.
A legend. What I think he was trying to make is also like, it was his first head coaching job. Like, it hasn't worked well. Like, John Shire's the only one that it's worked, and Duke's a completely different scenario.
Yeah. We would be lapping up what's happening at North Carolina right now, and they want their coach fired.
You can go with Howard at Michigan. We can go down the line with guys that it hasn't worked for their first head coaching job at a big program that they're taking over.
I've now heard that Coach wanted Jerry. He wanted Autry. He had Mike Hopkins removed. Like, I've heard so many things that Jim Boeheim has done. Right? That's I don't get it.
All right.
I don't even know that he had a say in it. He might have, but I don't know that he had a say. But I've heard every angle of that attack.
You ready to go clean now?
You want me to? Did I just drop a bomb?
Well, it's all good. I mean, we had an interview with Regy Thorpe. You came in here, and I'm glad, because we were going to address it anyway. And I'm glad that you came in. You were there last night, so I'm glad you brought it up. You're more than welcome to sit and take the calls. We're going to check in on the market next. We're going to hit the top of the hour, and phone lines are open. So, what you want to sit in on this a little bit longer?
Well, yeah, I can sit in. Hellray says, we don't gaslight as we continue. Do you think Jim Boeheim has told me what he wanted for the next head coaching job? Like, do you think I sat down with him and he told me? I have no freaking idea what happened. Don't tell me I'm gaslighting you. Do you think they come to the guy who tells fart jokes on the radio to tell them the inside scoop? Get the hell out of here.
All right, we're going to hit a break. We're going to check in on the market, and then we're going to head into hour number 2, and Paulie's going to grace us with his presence for a little bit longer. We're back after this on ESPN Radio. All right, I gotta try to bang this out. So, you guys talk to the chat for. Give me this commercial break, okay?
Yeah, all right. I knew exactly what happened. There has been zero damage, I bet, to Carmelo's relationship. Carmelo's kid will probably be here next year, and he'll probably have a say in the next coach. Do you know how close I am with Autry and Jim Boeheim? I am so close with them. I hang out with them. The whole chat sits and tells me I'm a dope with no friends and can't get women, but the coaches and them all want to hang out with me and be friends.
They won't call in. They won't call in, but be ready to hit a dump button.
I don't care who calls in. Everybody's allowed to call in. They don't want anything yet. Nobody once has asked me to protect them. I'm the last person they probably want even speaking their name. I've never once said Autry was a good coach. You're not listening to the show. Philly's most wanted. I see what happens in the locker room at halftime and postgame, yes, and I'm not going to tell you. I also do not talk to Jim Boeheim or Adrian Autry privately about how they got hired or fired. Jesus Christ, it's that hard. I sit on team meetings sometimes. I've stopped recently, but yeah, I knew when they were told to run what plays. That doesn't mean I'm friends with them. Yeah, I don't pal around with them. No, I think they're... no, I really think maybe they do, but I just think everybody's a-holes on the internet. I'm making you squirmish? You mean squeamish? I do. I go on vacation with them. I do get their coffees. Yeah, it's my job to engage you idiots. That's what I get paid to do. Have sports. Steve's gone. Steve quit.
This is up to you.
I just fired Steve. Don't bring me down. For those of you that missed the Q Sports Talk chat right now, I am personal friends with Jim Boeheim and Autry. They're both at my house right now. That's why I wasn't at work today.
They're cleaning for you.
Yeah. We're hanging out. We're going to play a little gin rummy and hang out. Let's go to Mike from Lee Baldwin. How's the market doing today, Mike?
Well, guys, the market might bring you down a little bit too.
Uh-oh.
We're down across the board. All three major averages led by the Dow down about 450 points. So not a great day. We do have a nice diamond though. Decker Outdoors, which is symbol DECK, is up $15 to $115 a share on strong earnings, and they're a luxury footwear apparel company. You'd know the brands probably UGG. And Hoka's, so they make both those brands.
UGG is my life message. That's what I say all the time. UGG.
Wear the Hoka running shoes.
That's right. So Deckers is a nice diamond. Our dog, we're going to go with silver. We've talked a lot in the past couple months about silver and gold running to historic highs. Well, today they're taking it on the chin. Silver's down about 25%. So a big down day for both silver and gold. Gold's down about 12% right now. And overall, it's dragging the market down as well. So hopefully we can get a little momentum going into the close and head into the weekend on an up note, but it's not looking great right now.
All right, that's Mike from Lee Baldwin. All the diamonds, none of the dogs. LeeBaldwin.com for more
guys.
Thanks, Thank you. See how I did that without it being written in front of me,
well
Steve?
done. I don't look at it anymore either.
No,
sure. It's just, it's ingrained in my head.
Ron Burgundy. I almost called you Ron Jeremy.
What have you been cleaning out of your apartment?
If I had just called you Ron Jeremy on the air, that would have been funny. Let's go to Jim in PA. Jim, what's up?
Yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on there between the insane spanking reference nonsense and then now Paulie citing porn stuff. It does make me a little embarrassed. I'm like Steve. I'm a little embarrassed to be associated with this.
Luckily, I only fill in once every 2 months.
Yeah, good for you, Mario. Hey, I just wanted to call in because this is where, I get caught between the middle. I've told you guys a million times. A lot of people make fun of me for how much I love Syracuse basketball and have my whole life. And then, my sons tell me I get in too many deep references and things that I oftentimes will cite. But I do want to say this. I understand the modern world we live in now. I think I've said this in calls in recent months. We live in a world where, being a jerk seems to be, cachet for a lot of people. And clearly social media and social media has allowed that to be, the case more than ever. But I just want to say this, and again, people will mock me for saying it, but these are all just facts. So, my family was poor as poor could be, right? So my grandfather came from a coal mining camp in Appalachia where they lived in a house with dirt floors where my dad was born. My mother lived on a itinerant farm where, same thing, nothing. We moved into a city. My brother joined the local boys club and grew to 6'7" and got a scholarship to come there to play basketball at Syracuse. It changed the lives of myself, and not only him, but myself, other members of my family, because no one had ever been to college. Now, my brother left his sophomore year, sadly enough, at Christmas break because my dad got into it with Roy Danforth and didn't let my brother come back. Now, my brother was an 18-year-old sophomore. My dad was probably about a 34-year-old steel worker who, as he would say now, didn't know any better. And all of that had nothing to do with what made me a Syracuse fan. I knew I was in kindergarten when my brother was in, freshman, sophomore year at Syracuse. But what the basketball program does to transform lives, like people, I get it. I want to win too. I want to win. But this whole idea, let's be a jerk to Red because things aren't going well. Let's say things behind the keys of a message board. Like, it's just, people forget about the human side of this. I got to go to college and graduate school, and the worst thing, you've never been a manager. We joke about it, not we, Paulie, you love to joke about it on the radio, you and Steve, about firing people. It's the worst thing you have to do as a manager, right? You hope you live in a world where you don't have to do it, but it's the reality sometimes in life. But people taking pleasure in it, and maybe it's people that have been fired. Maybe they were fired for all the wrong reasons. That's why they're angry at the world. I don't know, right? There's a lot of reasons why people are upset. But I just want to say something. 2 years ago, whatever it was, in 24, the development office did a fundraising event and public program in Philadelphia, 2 or 3 things. And I went there, and Coach Boeheim was the speaker. And 49 years removed from my brother having walked away from the program in 75, 76, right before Jim got the job, by the way. Jim compared my brother at the end of the season after his freshman year to Rudy Hackett. And again, unfortunately, my dad now knows that, whatever, my brother blew his knee out and went when he transferred to another college and decided not to play anymore. But anyway, I put Jim on the phone with my brother, 49 years removed. He remembered everything about my brother. He remembered where my brother had transferred to. He was asking questions. My brother is now long retired, has a house in the Gulf of Mexico, went into financial wealth management, made a good life for himself. So I'm saying all this rant because there are human beings involved with this, Red, other people. And so, yes, we want better things, whatever's going to happen. None of us have a say in that. But, anyway, it's just a call for decency as a Syracuse lifelong basketball fan who knows the power of the program beyond wins and losses. So, anyway, sorry for my long rant, but I wanted to say it after listening to all this
stuff. All right. Thank you for calling the Dr. Laura Show.
Thanks for letting me vent.
All right. There you go.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, we heard Jerry McNamara. We played the clip back yesterday. He was asked about Red and the situation, and, he talked about, aside from what we do, right? Professional, what profession we are in aside, he's a good person. We're friends. He's one of my closest friends. Our wives are friends. Our kids are friends. They go to school, and there is a human side to it. So I think that, the overarching theme of Jim's call was just be a human being, and so I'm good with that. Let's be human beings.
Getting fired sucks. I've been fired multiple times. It sucks. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm so damn wealthy, and I got fired, and I didn't want to lose my job.
Yeah,
I could live off of the interest of the money I have in my couch cushion, Steve. It doesn't matter if he's rich or not. The other thing is when Red gets fired, all his assistants get fired. Their families have to deal with this.
Yeah.
His secretary might go. It's brutal, guys. And nobody wants it. And so just think about that.
Right. There is a human side to it. And it doesn't mean it shouldn't happen or won't happen. And I mean, we all know what's going to happen if this continues to go in this direction, but there is a human side.
Scooter.
Certainly.
All right, let's go to Scooter. Scooter wants to talk about the Steelers, for God's sake.
I just was joking because I got chastised for bringing up the Bills, and when Paulie, you weren't there, Steve was going to talk about the Bills. I said, heck, Mario's there. I guess I'll get chastised by asking about the hiring that Pittsburgh did, but since you're back, I'll keep it to SU basketball. You guys talked about the defense, okay? To me, it's who you played. And did you actually shut down a high-powered offense yet? And the execution part, when the guy's standing wide open from 3 points without no defender and misses, is that considered good defense or not? And if you look at certain games, even the Virginia Tech game, there was a guy that in the first 10 minutes of the game missed 5 layups for Virginia Tech, and even the announcers said so. Syracuse could have maybe been down there, but now we're playing high-powered offense. Look at what NC State usually scores. Miami's been scoring good, and we've
guard play has
stuff.
killed them lately, as far as letting guards of the other team score against them.
Right.
The one thing, and it's a valid point, Scooter. The one thing I would say is, and I'm not saying that Tennessee is a high-powered offense per se, but they are very good. Syracuse held them to 60. You look at what they've done in the SEC: 85 against Texas, 87 against Texas A&M, 86 against Georgia, 83 against Louisville in a non-conference game. They scored 76 against Kansas. So again, not saying that Tennessee is Loyola Marymount from back when we were kids, but they're a good team, and SU held them to 60.
The defense has been bad, and it was good.
It was good back in Vegas. And again, Houston's not a great offensive team, but they held them in check to the point where they should have won the game.
It's on the coach to get the players to play at that level every game, and it's not happening.
Hey, hang on. Let's take a timeout.
This is my last call. Let's end with a call, and then we'll go. Mark, what's up?
Hey guys, I just want to build on I think it was Jim's call and your guys' conversation about there's like a whole personal element to this. I don't think anyone is threatening Coach Autry. I think just in this era, us as fans have more say than ever, and we're allowed to express our frustration. I mean, I think 2 years ago they said there wasn't enough NIL support, and then last year they said NIL support is up, and we're still not seeing the results. So I think now more than ever, we do have a right to say how we feel. No one's threatening Coach Autry or him and his family.
Mark, let me jump in real quick. I don't know. Did you hear the coach's show last night? There's an incident that happened on the coach's show last night where somebody called in and said, my question is who should replace you, or something along the lines of who are the top candidates to replace you. That's what we're talking about with the decency and what is the point of that? So again, I hear everything you're saying, and you're spot on with what you're saying. I don't know if you happen to hear that particular anecdote from last night.
Okay, no, that's actually helpful context. I did not get that anecdote. I did not hear it. I haven't been on social media, so now I'm totally with you. Yes, there's definitely a personal element.
There's just a way of saying it. You're allowed to be unhappy. You're allowed to boo. You're allowed to say whatever you want. There's human beings involved. That's all we're saying.
Totally. Well, my eye this weekend, and I'll make it quick, and you guys have to go to break. My eye this weekend is on Siena basketball this weekend. Big Western trip for them, 2 big conference games. If they can go to 9-3 in conference play, I think a lot of people's eyes will be on Siena about a potential coach there over the next couple months. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, Mark. Appreciate you checking in. We desperately do need to take a timeout. We're behind. Any final thoughts, Paulie, before we part ways with you?
No.
All right.
May God have mercy on your souls.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Now you can talk about Josh Allen.
No,
in
we're
the
not going
Tampa
to
Bay
talk about
Lightning.
Josh Allen. I brought it up
You can do
because
the show you want to do. Tampa Bay Lightning, Josh Allen.
Can we talk high school? High school basketball? Friday Night Fever.
Do you want me to leave? Like, do you want, people are saying you want me gone.
I said, no, I said, do you want to stay?
Do you want me to leave, dude?
I was trying to get you to stay. I said, you might as well stay.
No, I got things to do.
You got things to do. Why don't you stay one more segment?
No, I all of a sudden have a bubble gut. I got to go.
TMI. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I got to go fluff red. We got a big game tomorrow.
You gotta go get your bag ready. Poke out your holes.
I'm booing you.
Oh, you brought it in. I was gonna say I'll take it and put it in my basement with my kids.
No, but he's now part of the studio. Yeah, I have diarrhea next segment. Sorry.
I didn't know it was that big. That thing is huge.
Yeah, Syracuse University comes to the guy who makes jokes about fluffing people with their most important messaging.
No wonder Ron Jeremy was on your mind.
Yeah. All right, good luck. God bless.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have a good show.
Enjoy cleaning.
I will.
You gonna put us on while you clean?
No, I'll listen to Sonny.
Spotify. Sonny. You're gonna listen to Sonny.
I support myself. Gaslight. Whoever picks
Whoever puts
Paul
this one
Davis
in
on
the-
there?
in the-
Is Paul Davis on there? No. Oh.
Where do you draw the line? I was gonna say early 70s.
Spatula Louise would be American cheese. American cheese on a bagel.
Dropped when I started.
Steve, I gotta know, was Loyola Marymount like a juggernaut offense before my time?
Oh, you don't.
Are you not familiar with Loyola Marymount?
I knew about it a little bit, but I was like, that's an interesting poll.
They averaged like 90 points.
Yeah, no, they would.
I think of like UNLV in the 90s, right?
Yeah, show it to them. They were.
Yeah. No, I'm not downing.
No,
you.
no,
I'm now curious because I was like, maybe I need to know this.
So they in 1988 or 89-90 they set an NCAA record 122 points per game.
Wow.
So they would just
bang.
they would just come down. They would shoot like in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it was like they would shoot threes. They would just they would run up and down. I'm surprised you haven't heard.
Yeah, I guess that other one was a blind spot for me.
They led the nation in scoring 3 consecutive years.
Wow. Juggernaut.
Also took me a while to figure out where Loyola Marymount was.
Mm-hmm. Probably want a quick segment.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back on track a little bit.
Yeah, Lukey Lou, I've been very basic with my food taste my entire life. So, yes, not that it was too spicy. No, it wasn't too spicy, but I was just a creature of habit, and American was my go-to. American cheese on a plain bagel.
Nope.
Yeah, looking back, Gavendo, it wasn't great, but it was fine. It was served the purpose.
I think we got a caller. So much for the quick segment.
All right.
Caller and then
break, yeah.
How about all these lacrosse games being canceled, Tim?
College games today?
They've all been canceled because no one.
KWHD2 Bridgeport, ESPN Radio. Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com.
This is Orange Nation.
All right, Stephen Fonte, Mario Sacco with you up until 2 o'clock today as we drive into our second hour. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. We're a little bit behind here, and by a little bit, I mean we're a lot behind here. So we'll take one phone call. We'll take a break. Dave up next on the show. Dave, what's going on?
How you doing, guys? Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
I missed the first part. I heard you guys on YouTube talking about Loyola Marymount.
Yeah.
You know, I go way, way back, and I remember Hank Gathers. And Mr. Leonard, I don't know if you know the Hank Gathers story.
That's what we had to film in a little bit about.
Yeah, educate me, Dave.
Well, you know that he collapsed and died on the court.
Oh, no. I did not know the story.
Oh, yes. March 5th, 1990, my friend. It happened. As a matter of fact, guys, you check this one out. This happened on the same day that John Thompson picked up 3 technical fouls in the Carrier Dome. Okay? 3. 1, 2, 3. He got thrown out of the game. And Syracuse wound up winning this game. It was a crazy game. They fouled Billy Owens with 1 second left. He went to the free throw line, and Billy wasn't a great free throw shooter. And Billy hit 2 free throws. And then after that game was over, Syracuse became a 1 seed in they outdid UConn, and UConn won the tournament that year. They had Nadav Hennefeld and Tate George. They beat Syracuse in the Garden and won their first Big East championship. But going on with that Hank Gathers story, later on that day, Hank Gathers came up with a slam dunk. Right after he had the slam dunk, he's going up court, and he collapsed. And I don't know if you guys have seen the 30 for 30.
Yeah, it's very good.
And, you know, just tragic.
Yeah,
just
certainly.
tragic, you know, between, like, you know, him and Bo Kimball, you know, playing at USC and then transferring over, and, you know, the 2 Philly kids, and Villanova and all the Philly schools tried for them, and they wound up going out west and wanted to get away from the snow, and then they played for Westhead at Loyola Marymount, and just a run and gun. And, you know, even after he died, they didn't stop scoring. I mean, I think that they put up a 115 against Michigan that year. Just phenomenal. They were just a phenomenal 3 years that they had up there, and just a tragedy to see that on a court happen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was sort of like a Reggie Lewis thing. I mean, we had Reggie Lewis over here at Northeastern, and my friend went to school with him, and Reggie was a partier. And another tragedy. And Lenny,
no doubt.
and Lenny
Len Bias, too.
Len Bias.
Yeah.
Both Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Think about that. They could have both. It could have been a dynasty in Boston with both those guys.
Yeah,
but
Dave, we
both
got
tragically dying.
Yeah,
Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Yeah, don't mean to cut you off. We're a little bit up against the clock, but we do appreciate you checking in. I didn't realize it was the same day. I mean, I was at that Syracuse-Georgetown game when John Thompson got the 3 technicals. I didn't realize that it was the same day of the Hank Gathers death. Obviously, I remember the Hank Gathers death as well. I was 14 years old, and he brought up that Loyola Marymount team putting up 115 points against Michigan. They scored 149 points in that game against Michigan on the way to the Elite Eight that year in the NCAA tournament. The offense was insanity. It was just.
And Hank Gathers was unbelievable.
He was unbelievable. Bo Kimball was unbelievable. It was a spectacle to watch. So you may have to check out that 30 for 30, Tim, because it is it's emotional, but it's certainly worth it. All right, we'll take our time out here. Full lines remain open if you want to check in at 315-437-7644. Back after this on ESPN Radio. Yeah, Dilemacuse, I looked it up, and he's right. It is the same day. Maybe we all found out about it on a Monday because it was like a late game on the Sunday night. It was a conference tournament game. So I suppose it's possible we all found out on a Monday, but he's right that the date of the game listed is the same day.
There will be drive time today. We're back after women's basketball game yesterday. Couldn't do it yesterday. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. The Dave Bing team, right?
Yeah, I remember the Cuse game was an afternoon. I think it was a noon game, if I'm not mistaken. And then, the Hank Gathers thing must have been like a 10 p.m. game out west or something like that.
We get out of here.
I gotta record my other show. Some of us work for it. No, garbage lady.
Can you find out if any schools were canceled for me today, so I don't have to redo a fever schedule?
If you just go to localswire.com, they should have.
Yeah, they didn't. That's what last week got me.
I think some of it depends on when you look to it, because if you
looked at 4:30 last week.
They take it back. If you look like in the morning, like up until like 12 o'clock, they're probably there. But yeah.
But we went on Schedule Galaxy. Like we cross-checked with Schedule Galaxy.
Yeah, I would check with ask Bob when you get into the office, and he can give you the list. I'm sure the list still exists. They just take it down. So probably somebody in web unit could figure it out.
Yeah, Matt from Auburn. I'm going to ask for headphones next Christmas from Paulie, too.
Longer
headphone cord.
Just a longer cord.
It's a thought that counts in Baldwinsville. I don't know where that last guy was from. I think it was Connecticut, but it was not Connecticut.
He said here when he was talking about the Celtics.
Yeah, and then on the Twitch it said Connecticut, so Paul did.
Oh, so he was listening. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Can you tell how many numbers are listening on Q Sports Talk right now?
Yeah, 77 on the Twitch stream, but then there's a YouTube stream that's probably, I don't know.
That's
I can
what
pull
I
that up. Probably another 60, 70 people. I don't know. Just depends.
When I flip you on at the office, I put it on the YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's easier, I'd say. We've gotten way more people are going to YouTube, but the chat is still more popular on Twitch. I thought they can. We can call this phone call today's business.
Well,
we're going to need you one.
Yeah, we need you to do that segment we talked about. Why don't we just make that today's business?
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. That works. I was kind of saying, so that we make sure we get to that segment.
We're going to have to because we already teased it on.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that we're not pushing it too far down. I think, Kev, you always comment F YouTube the second they get brought up. I love it.
Yeah, Spatch and Louise, I hate cream cheese. Hate it. With a passion. It's right up there with mayo.
I can't talk. Jalapeno cream cheese spread is the best.
Yeah, I love
is the best thing to put on.
They are similar to mayo, though. I could see if you don't like mayo, you wouldn't like cream cheese, but...
Are you a jalapeno cream cheese spread kind of guy?
Yeah, cream cheese is very tasty.
The whip bagel place makes it.
Zadi, 1-800-LAW-1010. ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1, 1200 AM and 1440 AM. ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com.
This is Orange Nation.
All right, Steve and Mario back with you here on Orange Nation. We'll get to Tim Leonard and today's business in the next segment. But let's get another phone call in here. We've got Joe in Baldwinsville up next. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We're doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I really don't call in super frequently, but I overheard watching the broadcast earlier how I guess there was somebody that called in and said some not so great things about Autry, and got to be honest, that kind of upset me personally because it's just a very weird thing to do. But I wanted to share some thoughts on that. Kind of wanted to get your takes on it. First of all, what you guys do as radio hosts is a difficult job. Doesn't get enough credit. But I think coaching is an even harder job. You're the center point of all this attention, good and bad, and you have to kind of wrangle that and, be at peace with that, so to speak. But I think Paulie's talked about this, how the most extreme takes are the ones that are rewarded the most, ironically, on social media.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, sports, it's, in general, I mean, whether it's football, basketball, soccer especially, it's a very emotional outlet for people. And some people, they'll take it as a personal offense if their team loses, which is, again, it's strange. But, I think my theory is that I think just some people, they don't have a lot of things going on in their lives that's positive, and they feel the need to take it out on something else to make somebody else feel as bad as they do, Again, it's unfortunate, but that's just how some people want to do things. Another thing, some people will say stuff online. I'm sure you guys deal with a lot of nonsense in the chat all the time. I've heard some really strange takes from callers and chatters and stuff. And these are things that they would never say to Coach Autry in person. They'd never say, these things to a player to their face. Like I've personally met some SU basketball players. I met O'Shea Brissett in person, great guy. Howard Washington, I met him at a bar. Buddy Boeheim, like so many, great players I've met in person. These are just great people. Coaches, I met Jim Boeheim multiple times. I can say, even like when I was a kid at Friendly's in Fayetteville, super nice guy. Julie's great. My sister, she makes photos for, Jim Boeheim's wife, Julie, at Industrial Color Labs. Great people. And again, the people that come online, like it's one thing to have an opinion and to disagree. I think what Mario was saying earlier about how, you can disagree with somebody's coaching methodology and still respect them as a person. I think a lot of these people that do these sorts of things, that say these really kind of off-color takes, they're not the kinds of people that would ever say these things to the person's face. Personally, I would think, at least reasonably speaking. Look, my mindset's this. I think Coach Autry seems like a likable guy. I'm sure if you met him at Wegmans or something and, said hi to him, he'd shake your hand, he'd take a picture with you. He seems like a decent guy. Personally, I've played basketball a lot growing up. A little bit in college. I'm a big junkie of the game, and, I don't personally agree with some of his, coaching decisions. Do I think he's a good fit long-term for the program? I, again, personally don't think so, but am I going to sit here and say, Coach Autry is this or that, or, and go on a radio show and call it and say, who's going to replace you? I mean, it's, again, who said that stuff? It's very odd. But look, one rule I live by, and I think this is something that we all can learn from in today's day and age, is if you wouldn't feel comfortable saying it to the person's face, why say it at all? But that's all I got. I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate checking in, Joe.
Just be a decent human. I guess that's a simple rule to live by. It doesn't have to be on social media. And if you don't like listening to me, I don't care. Go somewhere else. I don't care. Sorry for pounding the table again.
It's okay.
I'm working on that habit.
It's okay. I think Joe summed it up. It's we all know what's going to happen if this continues to go in this direction. There's no reason to pile on, and I think we've gotten that across today, and I'm glad we've gotten that across. Thank you, Joe, for the call. We'll take a timeout. We'll get to today's business on the other side. Tim will be in. We'll talk some women's basketball. We'll talk some men's lacrosse with Tim Leonard next on ESPN Radio.
Did you miss Drive Time?
Tim, is Boston any good?
Yeah, they're solid. 17th in the country. They'll win.
But it should be like a 20 to Or you think more of like a
No,
17-6 kind of game?
I would guess they win by like 8 goals.
All right.
I can do whatever you want me to do.
I just sent you the script.
5 o'clock script?
Yeah. Then I'll just worry about 6 when I get in.
I don't even remember where I put my I think my games all of us are pretty much local, I think. You know what I mean?
I didn't even really look at it, so
ESM to JD.
that's fine.
Or maybe Henniger to Nottingham.
I mean, once we get through the 6, it'll be fine. It's going to be stressful getting through the 6, but. You're back.
I have a question. I was watching.
Why are you not cleaning?
Shut up.
You got to get more.
I have a question for Shelp. Shelp said people are mad and want to be heard. Why do you think you're not being heard? Do you think Red's coming back next year?
Is that the
one? Is that the thing that people think? Do they think they're not being heard? Like, you're not going to fire him mid-season.
Look how much taller I am than you.
You should just put
you're a man.
You should just put a disclaimer at the beginning of your show.
Play Skilo on the way back.
I think Shelp is the one that's claiming that I said, like, Syracuse is the worst job ever. So I'm just not even, I mean, there's no way I said that. And if you want to find a clip or something, go
like,
for it.
How do you think, like, he's got to get fired?
Like,
yeah.
Like a friendly roll?
You're not being heard.
It rolled up the right side to the back and then came
couldn't
down.
really see it.
Came down in.
I do enjoy all these people. I was at the urinal once next because the caller was talking about all the people he ran into.
Yeah. Right into
now all the chatters are like, I smoked pot with Johnny Hop.
Some douchebag at the game, last game, there's 6 urinals, and he went to the middle one.
Oh, really?
And it was just you two?
Yeah. And, like, I had to walk in.
Yeah, that's a bad job by him.
Yeah,
He's got to know. There's like an unspoken rule.
Yeah, you can't go to the middle urinal.
And
It's like, there was 2 of us that walked in.
You don't bunt to break up a no-hitter.
In our media area.
Yeah, the one where we're peeing in the shower.
Right? You don't steal when you're up by 8 runs.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just an unwritten rule. Bad job by him.
Don't bunt to break up a no-hitter.
He was looking to play swords.
Never steal third. I met Greg Paulus at Lax. Pete next time.
Did you see the thing? Okay, like Maryland was supposed to play Richmond, and they canceled
Yeah,
the game.
yeah, because the weather.
Did you see Maryland hasn't played a weekday game
Yeah.
since 2020?
They only schedule like.
How is that possible?
I think the minimum is, gosh, is it 12? I can't remember off the top of my head. Maryland and Notre Dame only
Notre Dame's
schedule.
only playing 11 games.
Maybe
I
it's
think.
11 then. Whatever Notre Dame plays, that's the minimum every year.
Like.
Phil, did they say if Brady was still going to call plays? I didn't see that they hired a new OC. When you said it, I just looked it up. But did they say if Brady's going to call his own plays?
16, I think. We always play like close to the max.
Yeah.
Gary just wants to play games. He'd rather play games than practice. I mean, obviously practice is important, but he thinks there's a lot of value in playing games, which I agree.
Yeah. Are you a whole break behind, or are we?
No, we're on time.
We're on time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just gonna.
But we obviously
this.
have to do this segment. So.
Oh, I got to do this CMY group. It's tomorrow, so we haven't done it all week. I'll read this when I come back.
You're gonna bring us back?
You can bring us back, and then when you toss to me, I'll say this on top of today's business. Okay.
Yeah, I would say just say it before we get into today.
Yeah. Yep.
So I can cut to you.
97.7 and 100.1. Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com.
This is Orange Nation.
All right, Stephen Fonte, Mario Sacco back with you here on a Friday edition of Orange Nation. We got about 20 minutes left in the show as we welcome in Tim Leonard as promised. Tim, what's going on?
We go to the bullpen for me. Pauly was in the bullpen earlier. I don't know if I'm going to live up to the Pauly bullpen stint that he had, but I will get to some of the women's basketball, men's lacrosse stuff. I do want to remind people about the Wildcat Sports Pub CNY Brewfest, Steve, because that is tomorrow, believe it or not, in the horticulture building.
Very good.
I can say that word a little bit better than Paulie.
Yes, you can.
So keep that in mind. You can still get tickets, cnybrewfest.com. That is tomorrow, though. So if anyone is driving around right now and thinking about what they want to do tomorrow, you can go to the Wildcat Sports Pub CNY Brewfest.
All right, let's get to today's business. It's brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. Time for today's business as we welcome in Tim Leonard, as we mentioned. And, you know, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got women's basketball. We've got men's lacrosse. You're on the call for both these teams. You know them inside and out. Let's start with women's basketball. Nice bounce-back win last night for the ladies as they took care of Georgia Tech, and they came ready to play. 9-0 run to start, and it was comfortable the entire way.
Yeah, Coach Jack has really been on the team to get off to better starts. They've changed some things up in practice in the last couple weeks, and I thought that was a really encouraging sign for the team. They scored the first 9 points of the game, like you said, and really everyone shined in that game last night. And this team really is just clicking on all cylinders right now. It was a 94-70 victory over Georgia Tech, and you look at the quote-unquote big three of the team, which is Layla Filia, who went for 23 points and also had 7 steals in the game last night. She had 6 steals in the first half. And then Uche Azoje, who is just ho-hum, another double-double, 17 points, 15 rebounds, blocks 4 shots as well. And then Dominique Darius, I think that's been a big part of this stretch that they're on right now, playing their best basketball of the season. Dom hit that 3 against Cal in triple overtime, and she said herself, I think this could be kind of my breakthrough moment, because she was struggling a little bit for her standards before that. And since that 3, she scored about 20 points in every game. She had 26 against Stanford, 19 against UNC, and 20 more points last night. So if those 3 players are all playing well in one game, this is going to be a very tough team to beat.
When you look at Layla, and you talk about how well Dom has been playing Uche every game, you don't even have to talk about her because it seems to be every game. How important is it for Layla to, you have that experience with her and what she brings to this basketball team, to rely on someone that you haven't had, that you didn't have last year in a Layla Filia this year with this women's team?
Yeah, I was thinking about the other day to make a comparison to the men's team. We talked about, I think it was Matt Park brought up that there are some players on the men's team that are from power conference schools, and they've done a good job in the transfer portal, but they don't have anyone that went deep into the tournament necessarily. There's no one that's really been like a proven winner, and they're bringing that culture to the men's team. Layla has been to the tournament pretty much every year of her college career and went deep into the tournament with Michigan a couple times as their star player. And then last year she was hurt at Texas, but she was still around a winning team. So I think that is maybe underrated, or maybe something that we didn't discuss enough when we looked at the team and evaluated them in the preseason, that they have Layla Filia, who has been deep into a tournament. Dominique Darius didn't necessarily play for UCLA and USC, or wasn't a key role, but she was still around the winning culture. And it feels like their player leadership is really strong right now. If someone needs to step up and say something in game, Layla, Dom, whoever it is, will come and say something. And it just, you get a good vibe around the team. And I'm lucky I get to travel with the team and stuff. And there wasn't a great vibe last year, probably because they were losing, right? And it's easier to have a good vibe when you're winning games. But I did feel like from the outset of this season, they had the right player leadership. They had the right energy. And that's what the coaches have said to me from day one that gave them confidence in this team, that there is a good sort of vibe and camaraderie amongst the team.
So there's that big 3, right? Azoje, Darius, Filia. Sophie Burrows has been an important piece, and obviously what she brings to the table and the threat of the three-point shot. Of those 3, though, who's the most important player on this team?
I would say Uche Azoje, because to me, the biggest difference has been her staying out of foul trouble when you go back to how they were playing in non-conference play. And that was my concern with the team. I remember calling the games a lot in non-conference play, that we're going to be saying foul trouble a lot with Uche, and that's going to determine how good Syracuse is going to play in games. And now she's kind of gotten rid of that problem, and I think the coaching staff has done a better job with monitoring the foul trouble as well. So to me, if one player were to get hurt, which you don't want to think about it that way, but like if one player was out of the game because of foul trouble, I think Uche impacts the game so much on both ends. And she really just draws a lot of defensive attention now, too, that frees up the guards. So I think she's the most important player on the team. But all three of them are obviously playing great right now.
Is the foul trouble and the fact she's gotten better with that, is that because she's adjusting to the American game and she just wasn't used to it? I mean, is that a thing?
That's what Coach Jack has told me, yeah. I mean, she would get a lot of moving screens, a lot of just sort of ticky-tacky fouls, and she was confused by why she was getting called for moving screens as often as she was. I think it was the first 10, 12 games of the season. Every game she had a moving screen. She hasn't had one of those in probably 5, 6 games, off the top of my head at least. So I think she's gotten a lot smarter, and she's just understanding the American game more.
When you look at the ceiling for this team, we see, and Coach Jack talked about it in our pregame before they played Georgia Tech, about we're not looking. We don't care about being projected 8th. You know, we want to tell our story. But realistically, you see this team. You know, they've lost to a Virginia Tech team that's, I think, rattled off 6 straight wins or something like that. For some odd reason, they can't beat teams in North Carolina. That seems to be Coach Jack's, bugaboo. Realistically, where does this team sit, do you think? Can they win an NCAA tournament game?
Yeah, I think they can. I said it last night that all year we've talked about this team as the conversation is, can they get back to the NCAA tournament? And are they going to be a bubble team throughout the year? And nationally speaking, they're picked to finish 13th in the conference. No one had them in the NCAA tournament field at the start of the year, just looking at the roster. So everyone was kind of monitoring Syracuse from a national lens in the non-conference play. They're thinking, all right, it's kind of a soft schedule. Let's see what they do when they get into ACC play. And they started popping up on bracketology right around the start of ACC play. And I feel like the conversation is going to shift in the next couple weeks. The way they're playing right now, the conversation is going to shift to, could this be a hosting team versus could this be a team that is fighting for the bubble? And there's basically 2 bubbles in women's basketball. If you're a top 16 team, you're hosting, top 4 seed in each region. So obviously they've got a little bit of a ways to go to get there, but the way they're playing right now feels to me like a 5 or a 6 seed and not a team that's a borderline bubble team.
And do you think that they could be that team because your Louisvilles and your NC States aren't as strong? I'm not saying they're not good programs, but aren't as strong as they have been.
Yeah, I mean, they get Louisville at home, which is going to be a very interesting measuring stick game in a way. That's coming up. They only have 3 more home games, but you look on, and they're all weekend Sunday games now. So hopefully they'll draw good crowds because they deserve it right now the way they're playing. But you look at Bart Torvik right now. They simulate all the games. They're projected to finish 22-7 in the regular season, 12-6 in ACC play. I mean, that would probably, if anything, catapult you up from the 8 line to maybe the 7 or the 6 line. And I'd like to think that they could maybe flip some of those games. I mean, they do have 3 games that are very tough that they're projected to lose. But maybe if they keep playing like this and then they go into the ACC tournament, they go on a little bit of a run, you could get to the point where you're at least a fringe hosting team, which would be amazing.
Real quick before we get into men's lacrosse, they've got Miami next on the road Sunday. Miami is about a 500 team in conference play, right? And almost a quad 1, just on the outside of a quad 1 opportunity. What can you tell us about this Hurricanes team they're going to see Sunday?
Yeah, this is a big game. Miami is 48 in the net. They're a good team. I mean, they played a tough schedule, and Syracuse should be favored in this game. But in general, this is going to be a pretty good test for them to go down there and see what they have and see if they keep playing like they have in the last 5 games. To me, they'll beat Miami by 8 to 10 points, but they're also playing at a level that's kind of hard to sustain in a way. So I think obviously they're going to try and double team and triple team Uche Azoje, and Syracuse should have a size advantage against Miami. So that's something to watch in the matchup. But I think they should be able to go down there and just keep playing the way they are and get another win, which would be great.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk men's lacrosse. The opener, 1 o'clock on Sunday against Boston U. What do we need to know about this team?
Boston U is good. Or you want to talk about Syracuse?
I was going to say about Syracuse, but if you want to mention BU, you can.
Yeah, Syracuse is going to be very exciting again. They obviously have a lot of their key guys back. They lost Owen Hiltz at the attack line. That's a notable loss. They lost Sam English as one of their top midfielders. So there's some question marks personnel-wise. I would say the most notable thing that I'll be looking for from a personnel standpoint is the attack line, and specifically that third attack spot. We know, unfortunately, Trey Deer is likely out for the season. Gary Gate put it. So we're not expecting Trey Deer to play lacrosse this year for Syracuse. He probably would have filled into that starting attack line. So you've got Joey Spallina, who's a senior now and who's the number one player in the country, according to Inside Lacrosse. You've got Peyton Anderson, who was really exciting at the end of last year, gives them an athletic guy on the attack line that can really dodge. And then Michael Leo is a first-team All-American midfielder that I'm hearing has been going down to attack a little bit, and they're contemplating maybe putting him at that third attack spot. And he has played some attack, obviously going back to his high school days, and he's played some attack for Syracuse already. So that would make sense to me. But I'm just interested how the attack line will gel if they go with Leo, or do they look, you could put Finn Thompson down there, who's more of like an inside finisher. So that'll be interesting to monitor. And as far as BU, I mean, this will be a pretty good test in the opening game. And the schedule is, as we know, a complete gauntlet again, even more so than a typical Gary Gate men's lacrosse schedule.
Joey's approaching the record books here at Syracuse, and you've seen kind of the progression that he's made. And last year it was, he couldn't, come alive in big games and all what he do, big games in the NCAA tournament. It kind of flipped the switch. How does he take his game to the next level this year? Is there a next level in his game?
Yeah, I think for him, he's kind of just got to keep doing what he's doing, and he'll keep proving like the haters wrong that don't believe in him necessarily. I have heard that in preseason and everything, they feel like he has taken his game to the next level. What that means, I'm not really sure, because we know he's not the most athletic top attack line guy ever, but he's such a cerebral player, and he just helps you in so many ways in terms of his lacrosse IQ and his vision. So if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's definitely going to leave here with the record for most points in a Syracuse uniform. He needs 62 points this year, which he had 89 points last year. And I would imagine, if anything, he tops that if Syracuse goes on a deep run again, like they did in the Final Four last year. So it's hard to really say, like, what's that next step for him?
Win a title.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? And he's been honest about that. He said, that's all I care about. And you love that as your leader. And I think he's had that mindset all along, but he's got to be so hungry to get to that finish line, because that was his goal when he came to Syracuse, and they've sort of ticked off every box to this point but the national title.
If you had a question mark coming into the season about this SU men's lacrosse team, would it be, how do you replace a guy like Sam English? Would it be defensively, besides, Billy Dwan and those guys back there? Like what is your question mark with this team? Going back to the attack line, I'm maybe a little bit worried about, do they have enough outside shooting on the attack line? Owen Hiltz was a guy that he was a sniper. Send lasers. Yeah, I mean, so you lose that. And honestly, last year, that was a talking point when the team was struggling. They lacked dodging a little bit on the attack line. They lacked that outside shooter. And that's when they had Owen Hiltz. Owen Hiltz wasn't an incredible dodger, but he was another great lacrosse player, of course, that you just knew was going to get 5-6 points pretty much every game. He literally scored at least 1 point in every game of a Syracuse career. So that would be a concern offensively. I mean, Michael Leo can shoot it from the outside, and obviously all these guys can shoot it from the outside, but do they have that like true sniper that a lot of the top teams in America have, is maybe a little bit of a question mark. And then interested in the defense too, because that third close defense spot will be interesting.
All right, last question as we wrap up the lacrosse talk. When you look around the country, we say it's championship or bust this year for Joey Spallina and that class, and the program in general just feels like it's time. Who are the teams you have an eye on as the biggest threats, I guess, for Syracuse?
I mean, you got to mention Maryland right off the top. Maryland's number one in the preseason poll. They should be, and John Tillman has never lost to Syracuse. He's never lost to Gary Gate, and that feels like the team that Syracuse has to conquer if they want to get to the mountaintop of the sport. We'll get to see them square off in the regular season very early on Friday the 13th of February, third game of the year for Syracuse. Maryland does not play this week, apparently, because they're snowed out or the weather is impacting their game against Richmond. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how those two match up. Outside of that, it's the teams really that Syracuse went through last year. I mean, Princeton, they beat in the quarterfinal round. Princeton brings back pretty much everyone. So a lot of the sites have Princeton number 2 in the country or number 3, kind of right there with Syracuse. Cornell, we should give them a shout out because they're local. They're the defending champs, but they lost C.J. Kurse, of course. And Ryan Goldstein's back, but not a ton else. So I think Cornell is going to be fascinating. They're probably more like in that next tier, 5th or 6th in the polls, but still definitely worth mentioning. And UNC in the ACC is going to be better than they have been recently. So it's probably going to be Syracuse, UNC at the top of the ACC, would be my guess.
All right, it all gets underway Sunday, 1 o'clock, inside the Dome, Syracuse and Boston University. And, of course, the ladies in action Sunday as well on the road in Miami. We'll take our final time out in the show. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
Did you miss drive time?
So are you going to Miami?
Yes.
And then who's doing the lacrosse game?
Luke Burgess, who's a senior. He'll deal with Kyle.
Gotcha.
So he'll do a good job. Yeah, it was kind of tough to pass up the Miami trip.
Yeah, of course.
And that's just usually how we do it because, I mean, it's usually like big games for women's basketball, and they're deeper into their season.
Yeah.
Do they play any more Sunday games that you have to do that?
There's one. They're at NC State February 22nd, and we play Harvard men's lacrosse on the 21st Saturday. So we'll probably gonna have to figure that one out. But I might just go down to NC State with the women's team and have someone fill in for Lax. It's not gonna be as cold as here, though, Kev. I saw it's 65 Saturday, 53 is the high Sunday.
Yeah, my father-in-law lives down there.
Must be nice.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, Hiltz is killing it.
Yeah, he had a great.
Yeah. Yeah, the game is on ACC Network Extra. Everyone responded that.
Can we, for the women's, even if they're on ACC Network Extra, can we just move that to 7?
Yeah,
6?
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know why.
It's not like you're playing the second game.
There's been so many 6 p.m. games, and I can't do my show when it's 6 p.m.
Get to the game.
Yeah.
We can't because we do Orange Nation on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. I can't get there.
Yeah, I'll do that game, Theo Cuse. That should be a rout. Pittsburgh is really bad, so.
They lost to the second-ranked team in the country in Division III this year.
Scranton? Yeah.
I looked the other day because Cortland is good in men's and women's actually this year.
I don't even have my freaking golf clubs, Scavendo, because I left them down there when I went down to North Carolina over Christmas, went home, and then I thought I maybe would leave them down there because I could play down there, and it was snowing when we went down there this past weekend. I got to ship sticks them up, I guess. Brady has stated he will call the plays.
For the Bills.
Yeah. No, I know. You were asking about that, right?
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that. Thank you for that information.
See Nathaniel Hackett back in the league. Steve?
Where is he?
Miami.
I saw more snow coming, Dom.
Miami's OC, I think. Or quarterback.
I think that place is still open, yeah. The Pars Indoor Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. They just don't have...
There's a lot of other ones, though, now.
Yeah.
Popping.
5 Iron's going to come. Is that open
coming
yet?
downtown? Where's that coming?
I don't know. I got to look. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Thought someone told me off 11.
I would say no one's going to complain at a 7 p.m. game time, Spatch and Louise. Yes, is there a universally agreed upon game time that pleases everyone? 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Just not 6
As long as I don't
Just not 9 p.m.
leave the Dome at 12:30 at night. I was just saying for the women that the game's not on ACC network. Like there's, they put a 6 and an 8 o'clock game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Play at 7.
I don't know. I mean, I guess were they changing over? No, they didn't change over last night because Saturday.
Gonna have to change over Saturday.
Yeah.
Late Saturday.
Yeah, because that's
They're
what.
gonna go. I mean, 6 o'clock game to 1 o'clock game.
Yeah. That doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the game time, I wouldn't think.
They said it takes like 5. Is it 5 hours or 6?
5 Iron is on South Salina Street. Is it open already? That will be good. I don't know if it's open yet.
Shows up in my Instagram every time I get on
same.
Instagram.
They're watching us.
Syracuse. ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com.
This is Orange Nation.
All right, we got just about a minute left in the show. Tim, what do you got cooking for drive time?
We're going to open up the phone lines and talk some more men's basketball, Steve. And I'll break down Notre Dame a little bit, but I feel like I'll also probably get into just big picture stuff on the basketball team right now. I'm sure that's what most of you want to talk about. So call into drive time, 5 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. This game tomorrow, it's not about Notre Dame, right? It is about big picture stuff. Desperately need a win. This team desperately needs a win. We know what the schedule looks like afterwards. It's Virginia and North Carolina away. And, and it doesn't get any easier in the month of February. It's pretty much all quad 1 games, quad 1 or 2, really the entire rest of the way. So it's a big one tomorrow to just get back on track and just feel like they can set the table for a month of February. That, again, I don't know how many games they're going to win in February, but if they've got a shot to pull off any sort of upset, you figure it's got to start with beating Notre Dame tomorrow to try and get into a better place than they are.
Yeah, be big for morale, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Confidence, morale, just everybody staying together because, it sounds like everybody's still together, but this losing streak has taken its toll on everyone, players and coaches alike, and they do need I think a confidence boost heading into the month of February. All right, we are out of time. Be sure to tune in to Tim coming up at 5 o'clock. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you in a little bit, Mario, and work. So for Tim, for Mario, I'm Steve. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you Monday.